about 10 to 11 minutes. So with that being said, Roger, if you use about 2 minutes, then I'll go ahead. It's a powerful mic.
I was intrigued to read the paper the other day that the city of Dallas is still under consideration to host the 2016 Republican presidential convention. Thank you. I stumbled over the word. And that will, no doubt, if it occurs, be something that is going to bring regular attention and money to Dallas. And what intrigues me most is whenever I saw that whenever the proposal was made to the Republican National Committee, it was a blank page. Oh, it wasn't a blank page? Oh, well, forgive me. Because I understood that the way you do things in Dallas is that you pass them first, and then you decide what's going to happen later. No, it isn't. Our children are far, far too important for that. If there were no other reasons, and there are many, to defeat the home rule proposition, this would be sufficient. Secrecy, lack of transparency. Where's the money coming from? We know that one of the persons is a former Enron trader from Houston. Who else is behind it? People who have nothing to hide don't hide. Point number two. It has been done before. Home rule is not the voice of the future. It is the voice of the past. In fact, most large and medium-sized districts in Texas until about the middle of the 20th century were ruled under some version of city control, including here in Dallas until 1947, when the citizens of Dallas rose in revolt to demand an elected school board. Don't be fooled by being told that this is the voice of the future. Been there, done that, didn't work then, won't work now. Number three, another reason to turn this down is because it is nearly irreversible. According to the nonpartisan Texas Association of School Boards, here are just a few of the things that will go away if home rule is passed here in Dallas. Campus and class assignments, transfer mandates, governance laws, including terms, office and joint elections, state minimum salary schedule. How is that relevant? Well, in the last 3 years, the teacher turnover rate in Dallas Independent School District has gone from 12.9% to 19.5% to 26.5%. Only the greatest optimist would believe that in the current school year, the turnover rate for teachers would be less than 30%. 30%. And if that's the kind of district you want, go for home rule. Minimum days of service, planning, preparation, leaves of absence, professional development, and student discipline. If a student is even accused of a minor infraction, there will be no due process. The principal or assistant principal will have the final say. There will be no appeal to the school board because there will be no school board. Am I speaking with a certain amount of alarm in my voice? I am indeed. I am not an alarmist, but I am an alarm. I am alarmed. It's time to realize that this is a bad idea. that will not put Dallas ISD forward. It will set Dallas ISD back to the Stone Age. I thank you.
District schools say no. These are the names that have been thrown around, very misleading and very deceptive. Home rule school is discrimination, not innovation. This takeover district is exempt from state minimum salary, exempt from due process procedures against wrongful termination, will no longer adhere to counseling our students, no due process and disciplinary procedures. The law regarding governance will no longer apply. Single-member district will be thrown out of the window. Could end up with 4 board trustees appointed, maybe 3 or 4 and 5 actually elected. Fair game can mean splitting the district as many times as 10 to 15, or mayoral control. Who is support our schools? A better name we come up with, sabotage our public schools, or SOPs. Well, 5 board member, SOPs sit on the board of 2 local PACs. 8 of the board trustees has received money from these PACs. Carla Range is the only one that did not receive money from these PACs. And they've been giving out the money and monthly contributions up to $30,000. Is home rule necessary? Trustee Morath advocates longer days. Well, DISD can already extend the days and the hours of the school without home rule. Morath called for flexibility in teacher salary. The state allows that without home rule. Morath called for broader curriculum. Of course we want broader curriculum. We want embellished curriculum, we want broader curriculum, and we want the information to go deep as opposed to being very shallow. And that can happen without home rule. Reform for DISD. If you want to put your money in something, SOPs, sabotage public schools, here is what you can do. Full day pre-kindergarten across the board. Class size reduction across the board. Guaranteed qualified teachers for every student. And by the way, pay them competitive wages. Integration of school by class, that will eliminate to some degree discrimination. We don't need a whole lot of classes, AP, kids clustered together. If you're clustered together with the same skill sets, how do you learn from each other? So we need integration. Replicate the programs that work. I know some of the schools are working very well, Obama, Townview, Ringel, and even others. Spanish taught to black students in elementary. When our children in elementary are not taught Spanish, they're at a disadvantage. They need to be taught Spanish. And every school, to stop that pipeline to prison, every school needs positive behavior intervention support. That's a program that's been advocated all over the United States. Why can't it come here to Dallas? We need to understand that the bottom line is, if you want to do something, keep the independent in Dallas. If you want to do something, support our children, our schools, our community. If you want to do something, don't sabotage what we've already done, because there are going to be speakers to tell you even more things that are working very well here in DISD. Thank you very much.
DISD can be written in a few months.
I have more capable people here in the audience that can help us with this. I have more capable people here in this audience can help us with this answer. But I would say no. And the reason I say no, it has taken us this length of time to fine-tune the district into where it is now. So to write a charter for a district of this size in less than a year would be absolutely ludicrous.
Charter will take as much time as necessary to have a document that meets the needs of people in neighborhoods across Dallas. And whatever time that is, that's the amount of time it should take, no more, no less. So she could very well be correct.
We need to have all the presentations and the questions. Y'all can be here all night.
It's a question and a comment. Comment, I feel like lack of due process goes against a true democracy. The lack of due process goes against a true democracy. The lack of due process goes against a true democracy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, right. About the due process.
Let me let the speaker stay at that microphone. Answer the
Why
question.
didn't they just give her a mic and have one up there?
And the question also, the question is, well, I don't want to like yell like the previous speaker. How can they remove due process out of the 14th Amendment? I mean, are you basing it on that? This is the due process you're talking about is based on the 14th Amendment of the Constitution? How can you remove due process?
Thank you very much, Mr. August. I'm a member of CASE, Coalition for an Accountable System of Education, and with us in the audience, Dr. Al Roberts, Dr. Al Sullivan, Dr. Verna Mitchell, Bill Betson on the stage here with us. And I thought I saw Joe Bell in the audience, but it's always good to see Joe. Okay. No, Joe Bell. Okay. The first thing we'd like to talk about is what would you have in a home rule charter district? Just what would it look like? Back in 1995, under the governorship of Mr. George W. Bush, the Texas legislature authorized a home rule district and allowed voters to free their district from many, but not all, of the state education codes. So this kind of home rule charter, it would allow the school district to not elect school board members or school board trustees. They wouldn't have to elect them. They would not have to honor the teacher contract, would not have to do it. They would not have to provide professional development. They would not have to do that. They would not have to follow the current teacher administrative appraisal process. They would not have to do that. They would not have to adhere to the start time and the end time of a school year or a school day. They would not have to abide by the minority and women-owned business contracting requirements. They would not have to. They would not have to adhere to current counseling program for students and their ratio. They would not have to adhere to curriculum requirements. They could teach kind of a subject, but it'd be tested on something entirely different from the state. But that, they wouldn't have to be guided by that. And he hadn't been there long enough to even determine whether what he's doing is working or not. But let's just say what's happening right now under his leadership. The DISD has the largest number of graduates this 2013 in 31 years. Can you imagine that? The largest number they've ever had in 31 years. It's up like 5%. The percent of students graduating on time has increased. The district dropout rate has been cut by more than half in 5 years. Because we've been in the boardrooms, members of case have, in the classrooms, assistant superintendents for personnel, assistant superintendent, psychological services, PhD from the largest universities in the country, the highest degree that can be commanded, and we have come together saying that this is not right. And we definitely oppose this home rule charter position. And we want to ask the people to make sure that this school district have an opportunity to show its growth. We don't want to change any kind of governance. You know, some strategies that, as Dr. Wallace from the NAACP, we work very close together, and she has hers, and Case has hers, but she also, she works, and she's a member of Case. And she helped us to make sure everything that we're doing is right and true. And what I want to say is that we recommend, like she recommends, that you do not dismantle this school district. We recommend that you not sign any kind of petition that calls for an end to the district as it is. We recommend that you do that. As I said before, they will not have to elect trustees. You know, taxation without representation. We don't, listen, we fought hard for, to get the right to vote. And in one swoop, you want to take it from us. We're saying that we don't want that, you know. We want you to honor our teacher contracts. We don't want you to get our teachers to go off to have higher degrees and then come back and teach for a year, and then the next year you cut them down to below minimum wage because you can. We know that if you can do it, you will do it, because that's what you've been doing. Our kids have been scoring very high in this whole area over here, but then guess what? They said if it's scoring so high, they take them out of court. Okay, but then...
Good evening. I guess I'm so frustrated with DISD, I just don't think that we can hardly even get any worse. But anyway, could you tell me, under the current administration, how they can dispose of Alta Mesa Elementary School without the public knowing about it? How does that work, and will that change under the suggestion? In other words, disposing of a $1.1 million piece of property, Alta Mesa, putting it on the surplus, transferring those kids from their neighborhood across I-20, 21 to 1 student ratio. How could they do that and the parents not even know that this was being done? That's under the current process. Will this home rule change and require that the people know what you're doing with your school property?
Part of the problem is we don't know yet. And that it's a blank slate. We don't know what's going to happen. But you started your talk with something talking about how bad things are in DISD. And that's why I stood up. Because things are not that bad in DISD. Now, the mayor has taken a snapshot, a one-time snapshot in time, and if you do that to any urban district in the country, you're going to see some bad stuff. But if you take a look at DISD and go back 12 years and look at the phenomenal progress we have made in 12 years. Many of you have a copy of the statistic sheet that I passed around. It has this chart on the one side. And if you'll look at it, you'll see it has all 12 years. It has 6 different graduation rate measurements. But if you'll notice, from 2007 to 2012, every single one of those 30 measurements improved from the previous year, except for 1 out of 30 measurements. That's phenomenal. We were improving wonderfully during those 5 years. There is not a single district in the country that improved better, or in Texas. And on the back of your sheet, under item 3 at the top, go and Google Dallas ISD graduation and dropout rates. When you Google that, you'll go to the DISD website and you will see 12 different graphs that show how our graduation rate, that used to be like 12 percentage points and more worse than the state, improved dramatically. And in some cases was 5% better than the state when it was over with. So DISD is improving. We need to go back to improving.
And Michael Rath, are you willing to tell us who the financial backers are tonight? We want to know.
I'm not with Support Our Public Schools. You have to ask that to Mr. Griffin.
You said that you had lobbied for the charter and that you have been meeting with Support Our Public Schools. So all I'm asking is, who are the financial backers? If you can't tell me, there are other people out here that's a part of the group. Can they tell me?
You don't want the microphone. You don't want the microphone.
Clearly stated, Meyer and Hollins, 2 of SOP's current board members, sit on the local political action committee that contributed thousands of dollars to election. Contributors to the 2 business-supported PACs include the Perot family, Nancy and Ray Hunt, the CEO of AT&T, and a top contributor, Ken Barth. Please be aware that SOPs is also funded directly by the Action Now initiative, a political advocacy organization founded by former Enron executive Houston billionaire John Arnold. Those are the funders. Thank you.
This train that we are fighting is running. It's running. Now what I need to know is, how do we stop this train? On the way over here, I was thinking about a few things. And tonight, Ralph came out. I have seen the Anglo support. I have seen expanded support this program. And tonight, the sheet has been covered. We know who else is supporting this training. Us. Us. It's not about our kids. It's about $2 billion. Listen, $2 billion. Contract, new contract. If you know what I'm talking about. How do we derail this train? One way. November the 4th. Because this train is going to get there. It's going to get there. We need to go November 4th.
Little Backus. He looks just like Backus, though. Preach on, little bitty Backus.
I'm Minister Cornelius Amen. I'm a Papier, an acronym for People Against Poverty, Crime, and Injustice. I've listened to a lot of commentary here tonight concerning home rule. I've listened to some questions. Somebody wants to know how would this take away our constitutional rights. I was listening to some questions and commentary. Again, somebody asked a question, how would this take away our due process rights under the 14th Amendment? I've heard again a lot of questions, but the past several days we heard news of reports concerning tornadoes throughout Texas. And we were told to take cover. And in this commentary here tonight, I heard that this is going to take away your constitutional rights. Oftentimes, from what I've studied, if you vote in a charter, you relinquish your constitutional rights. You give it to the charter. And so you don't have anything to come back. And my commentary, again, from what I heard tonight, tells me that. If you hear a storm is coming through Dallas, has the potential, if I may, of taking away the lives of various citizens in Dallas, what other question do you need to know other than we're going to do whatever we can to stop the home rule from coming into Dallas, Texas? Thank you.
Hold the questions, Candace. Hold the questions a moment.
Good to everyone. I think this is an awesome debate that we have going. I heard my name earlier, and I just need to address it. It was in country. My name is Wilton. My name is Wilton Hollins, and I'm the president of Support Our Public Schools. And my name was placed in with Ross Perot and some of these other billionaires that I wish I knew, because I don't know. I am on the board of Educate Dallas. Educate Dallas is a group that finances school board trustee campaigns. For instance, we gave money to trustee Bernadette Newdon. George Sparman came by and requested money. So this is not a political.
George, Spaulding, please.
This is not Educate Dallas is not a political, a bipartisan group. We just finance school board trustees who are interested in running for school.
Excuse me, Mr. Hollis. Audience, we will respect everybody. We will respect everybody. This is a house of love. People gonna respect you, let's respect him, okay? Please, move forward.
Right, so our goal is to find candidates, qualified candidates willing to run for school board. And if you're wanting to run for school board, you can come and request financing from this organization. That's all they do. That's exactly all they do. We give money to everyone who comes and presents themselves to our board and asks for money. And that's very different, yes, it's very different from Support Our Public Schools. Support Our Public Schools has been successful already because the conversation has begun. This is exactly what we needed to do. If there were no problems in DISD, we would not be here right now. So to say that everything is great in DISD, that's a misnomer. We cannot continue. We cannot continue with the status quo. And the job of Support Our Public Schools was to bring the group together so we as a community can decide what works best for our schools.
Thank you. The next question, right here.
Take the next person.
Hi, my name is Benny Shaw. I'm with Top Texas Organizing Project. And my question is for sabotage our school. What is it? Okay. My question is for them. This process seems to be a rush job. The rules say that the board has 30 days to appoint a 15-member commission, and they have 1 year to write this new charter. Why is there such a hurry to put this on November's ballot?
See, they should have had a presentation.